Obesity is not you being a bad human. Obesity is your metabolism not working correctly because of a variety of different factors.
Here's JJ Virgin, triple board certified nutrition and fitness expert and 4-time New York Times best-selling author. It's time to reignite wellness.
All right, welcome to Friday Q&A. This one comes off of Instagram during a live that I was doing about chocolate, and it comes from Imperfect Shark 3. And Imperfect Shark 3 asks, "Hi, can this diet help with people who have had failed gastric surgeries?" Okay, this is going to give me a chance to walk through the way I really think that we need to approach diets. See, I think that the reason that we have a big issue out there, well, there's a whole lot of reasons we've got issues with obesity. Remember, obesity is not you being a bad human. Obesity is your metabolism not working correctly because of a variety of different factors. It could be food intolerance. It could be stress. It could be sleep problems. It could be insulin resistance. It could be toxicity. It could be hormonal imbalances due to xenoestrogens, due to menopause. It could be sleep issues. It could be the wrong type of exercise, generally over-exercise or not exercising enough. I hope that's not the case. It could be eating too much sugar, too many carbs for you. And we don't need sugar, by the way. My mom was like, "But we need to eat sugar." I'm like, "No, Mom, we don't." It could be, could be your gut microbiome. Could be some of your genetics, which load the gun, but don't pull the trigger. Remember that. So there's all these different things that could contribute to weight. Generally, it's not because your stomach's too big. So that's the big challenge with gastric bypass. And maybe it's just who I see, but I've seen a lot of failed gastric bypasses. And what they don't tell you is what the heck that surgery is going to do to you and how it's going to set you up for nutrient deficiencies and imbalances forever. So I'm not a fan. I am a fan, though, of figuring out how to become your healthiest you. And here's the process that I like to walk you through. And here's the big challenge I see is people say diets don't work. I believe that diets do work. We just are not using them correctly. You need to figure out what the current issue at hand is and what your goals are based on your genetics, your age, your sex, what else is going on in your life, what your lifestyle is like, and what your goals. And then you pick the diet that's going to help you in the short term to make those improvements and also to help you find some things out about yourself that you can pull into the way that you eat every day. So what I think here is that the first thing that we should do is assess where we're at. What's going on with my whole body? Like what's going on in terms of where's my body fat? What's my waist measurements? How's my energy? How's my focus? How's my fatigue? How's my inflammation? How's my mood? And then looking at some of those other factors that I just went through. Then first, improve the quality of your food. Improve the quality of your food. Start eating more non-starchy vegetables. Start making sure you're getting water in between your meals. Add some green tea into your diet. Start taking a good basic multivitamin, mineral, antioxidant formula, and essential fatty acids. Start eating, make an oil change, have anti-inflammatory fats, get some good clean protein in. All right? Unprocess your diet, as my buddy Natalie Jill says. That's step one. Then detoxify. Start to make sure that you are pulling out the things that are toxic in your diet and in your life. And that might mean some people too. Oops. And get the detox nutrients on board and the detox habits on board. Epsom salts baths and dry brushing and sweating from saunas. And we'll put in the notes, by the way, we always at jjvirgin.com/questions, which is where we put the podcast question info. We'll put a link into sunlight and saunas, which I'm going to go hit right after this before I go get a massage. And then, of course, a lot of deep green leafies, good nutrients, digesting your protein, things that are going to help you detoxify well. Once you've done that, next step, figure out your hidden food intolerances, which foods work for you and which foods don't. That's Virgin Diet. Next step, figure out how many carbohydrates you should have in your diet and where the sugar's sneaking in. That's the Sugar Impact Diet. By the way, along the way, we've put in between those things that are giving you a chance to stabilize on your new eating plan, we're putting in some mindset work, some stress management work, some building into a community of support, some moving more, some getting in some 5-minute flexibility, some starting to burst train, some starting to add some resistance training. And then we're going to really start to look at sleep and stress and gut microbiome. So this is a process. You didn't get here overnight. You're not going to get to the place where you're super healthy overnight either. But once we get you healthy, then the next part is making sure that you've got what you need in place to stay healthy for the long term. And that's really, really important. And I kind of feel like the forgotten element of all of this is we get healthy and then we're like, all right. It's like, well, that it's not just going to stay there unless you continue to do the things that were helping you get healthy. And what's super interesting is the things that were helping you get healthy aren't necessarily the same habits and behaviors that will keep you healthy. In fact, there was an interesting study on weight loss that showed that there was like 37 different health habits, and there was only like a crossover of 8 between getting you healthy and keeping you healthy. So, this whole thing is a journey. It's a process. It's like peeling the onion. And, but as far as like what you need to do initially, I don't really see the role of a gastric bypass. I just don't. I just don't see the role of it. It doesn't make sense to me when I really look at why we gain weight, why we struggle with weight, and where the issues are, and then the long-term ramifications of what that surgery does. All right. That is it for the answer to the question. So here's the deal. If you have a question for me, pop on over to Instagram, jj.virgin, or Facebook, JJ Virgin Official, or you can also leave a review, hint, 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 on iTunes or any of the platforms you're listening to. And when you do, you can also leave a question because we pick them up there too. So, love to shout you out as one of the endorsements on the podcast, and I'd love to answer your question next. All right. See ya.